It came as no surprise that Golden Horn was the main winner of the 2015 Cartier Awards. His owner, Anthony Oppenheimer, was on hand to accept the prize.
Unfortunately, Betty.
I'm so proud. I really am proud of him. And I know John Gosden is too. We both feel this is a very special horse. And we were thrilled that when he showed himself in the Derby and the Arc, he was much better on top of the ground. But he still ran good on good soft.
You've been in racing many years, supported the flat racing with all of your horses. Just explain the emotions of winning an Epsom Derby.
I think it's very difficult to explain. There are two things. First of all, it's absolutely marvellous to win the Derby. But the second thing was, I didn't think the horse was going to stay the Derby distance because I bred him, and I bred him as a mile to a mile and a quarter. So we didn't enter him for the Derby, so I had to put up the charge. But I mean, when he won the Derby, not only was it fantastic to win the Derby, but actually be proven wrong as a breeder. We're very unfortunate.
When you say you bred the horse yourself, that must give you an even more sense of excitement. It's almost like having an offspring, one of your children running for you. You've seen him from birth all the way growing up, going to John Gosden's yard, winning the English Derby. And that must be an unbelievable feeling.
Well, it was unbelievable. And I was incredibly lucky. I put the horse up for sale. I sell all my colts so that I can keep my stud running, and I keep my fillies. This horse didn't meet its reserve of 190,000, so anybody could have bought him. Fortunately, I got landed with him, and John Gosden and actually William Haggis both arrived at my shoulder saying, we'd like to train this horse.
Right.
And John Gosden trained it.
And winning the Arc, what a special day. Longchamp is a terrific day's racing, isn't it?
That was marvellous. And I mean, we were so frightened of the rain. The rain was coming up from the south of France, where there'd been a huge storm, and we were terrified it was going to hit the Arc.
Another fantastic day, and what a performance as well. We had the local favourite Trev, who'd won it for the last couple of years, to beat her and still get an amazing round of applause from the French and all the racegoers there.
Well, I have a feeling that more of the applause was for Dottore, who was jazzing the crowd up. He's a favourite there in France.
Yeah.
And once they realised Trev was beaten, they switched, and they were really happy to applaud him.
How easy a decision was it to move him on, to retire him, to go to stud, and choosing Darley as the place to let him do his work?
Well, Darley is, in my view, I mean, there are one or two outstanding studs in Newmarket, but we felt that Darley, I mean, first of all, the Sheikh has done so much for British racing. I mean, people can hardly imagine, on education, on every aspect, he's really done amazing things for Great Britain. And I must admit, we're really very happy to have the horse there, because I know he's going to be well looked after.
And you'll be sending some of your mares there, I would imagine.
Of course. Of course I will. I can hardly wait. I don't suppose he can wait either.
How exciting is that going to be when their progeny turn up on the road?
Well, that's what I'm dreaming about, really.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, having won so many races, I decided not to run him again as a 4-year-old. I'm afraid Mr. Gosden was a bit upset by that, but he's got Jack to look after, and Jack will do the rest.
Well, Golden Horse, he's the son of Kate Cross, I trained for His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, and he's out of a really good Oppenheimer family from Hascombe Valley Stud, and he was a homebred colt. He went to the sales, and he was in one of those immature stages. He was growing behind and wasn't quite together. American Pharaoh went to the sales in Saratoga, and he was unsold as well. They had decent reserves, but not crazy reserves, and it proves that, they go through difficult stages, and if you catch them wrong at a sale, it's not their fault. He then became this most amazing athlete, and he got stronger and better, and of all the horses I've trained, like his father, he had amazing constitution, great female line on both the sire and the dam side, and no matter what you did with him, he came back for more. And he raced hard all season, from the beginning to the end. And right now he's preparing to go to stud, and he's very frustrated. He's not working on the gallops and racing again. He's just a horse with a wonderful constitution and a great mind, and he's been very sound. So I'm lucky to have had him to train.
You had him this year, you had Kingman last year, and you moved Golden Horn into Kingman's old barn. Did you think early on in his career that he was going to be good?
Without doubt that he showed me talent as a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's not that you ask them to show you the speed. It's just that you know the way they move, the way they carry themselves, they're good. But you know as a trainer, sometimes you move forward, other times you wait. And possibly a trainer, one thing I've learned is remember how to wait and have patience. And he showed it to me. He didn't run to the end of October. And he would have run earlier, but he tweaked a muscle in August, and I had to wait. I never mind waiting if I can see the talent, and it came through. My feeling is he would have been a very good miler, but because he only raced once as a 2-year-old, I really couldn't prepare him for the Guineas, because the 2000 Guineas is the last 2-year-old race. Like, they're very psychologically sharp, they know how to race, and he didn't. So I ran him in the field, and Frankie was right about that, wait. We went to the Dante, we went to the Derby, and the rest is history. And hugely talented horse. He was beaten twice by bad ground, by fillies he was giving weight to.
Yeah.
So even if you look at the weights, he was the best horse in the race. But I think he's obviously a gentleman, and he decided they were fillies after you.
Ladies first.
Yeah, ladies first. And he was an amazing horse to be with. He's still with us now. He's getting very frustrated because he wants to go and gallop and race, but he'll go to stud, and I have a lot of confidence in him as a stallion. Very sound, great constitution, puts his weight back after a race within a matter of days. He went to France, won the Arc, came back 4 days later, he was back to his race with the weight he left at.
Yeah.
So he has a great constitution, a great mind. I probably had more faith in him than most horses I've ever trained. He's been the most complete athlete.
And having him in the yard is fantastic, but having Jack Hobbs in there as well, is that doubly good, or is that a little bit frustrating that
No.
they're going to meet up a little
How
bit?
lucky you have to have. He's the son of Halling. Halling was a horse that I trained at 2 and 3. He went to Godolphin and he got really, really good at 4 and 5. And they trained him to win eclipses and jump on internationals, and he got better with age. And Jack's that type of horse. He's tall, rangy, slightly lanky, a little bit like the overgrown adolescent kid. And I'm very confident that over 1.5 miles, which I think is his trip, his pedigree doesn't say that, but everything else tells me that's him. I think he'll grow into a gorgeous horse, and next year our plans are the King George and the Arc. They're the two big pinnacles that we're heading towards. And the great thing about standing here now is you've got to have plans for the future.